Yes, my name is Chief Owolabi Salis. I'm contesting for Lagos State Governor under the Alliance of Democracy, AD. Actually, this very contest, I don't think I'm the one contesting. I think it's the people, the less privileged people of Lagos State, they are the one contesting. Because I've been driven by an instinct to join this race, this current race. And almost 2 years ago, some gentlemen, came to me from 14 political parties, and AD is there, and I represented the PDP people, the good people of PDP, and there are some representatives of APC who call them the good people of APC. We had a meeting on the situation of Lagos State, what's going on in Lagos, particularly the issue of the commonwealth of this Lagos State being in the hand of an individual that's being used now to enslave and, of course, control and discriminate against Lagosians. So we come up with a theme, at the meeting that, okay, we have an objective. And that objective at that meeting is to take Lagos Commonwealth to give it back to the people. So we form a Star Alliance, a Lagos coalition movement. We are not concerned about the federal. So the Lagos coalition movement, we formed it. Star Alliance is not a party. Then we decide, okay, which party are we going to use to make this contest possible or make this objective to be realized? So we look at APC, we found out it's not going to be possible under APC. We look at PDP, we found out it's not going to be possible. So we analyze other parties and we head up with AD, that we are going to use AD as the platform. Subsequently, I had a meeting with the national chairman and some national secretary and some leaders of AD at Lagos Airport Hotel. At that meeting, we decided, okay, there's a problem in Lagos State, in general political atmosphere of this country. There are a lot of poor people who are being denied leadership. They are being denied leadership of this country because most of the major political parties, they demand so much money. They ask for 2.5 million, 3.5 million for them to join the contest. So we had the meeting that, okay, AD is not going to collect nomination fees from the less privileged. So we want to use AD to promote less privileged people to leadership. And there was an agreement to that, oral agreement, and I promised that I'm going to fund most of the operations of the party, which I've been doing, and that's what led to this AD. So we are using AD as a Lagos coalition movement. Number one, the objective to take Lagos Commonwealth from an individual in this state and give it back to the people, to stop systemic slavery of our youths, because a lot of youths are being enslaved in Lagos State, and of course things are not going well. And there's about 5 other objectives of that forum. So we signed an agreement. That was almost 2 years now. Credible people of PDP plus credible people of APC and AD plus. AD plus is AD and some political parties. As I speak to you, the parties increased after some time, but some are being bought. A lot of people are being bought. I'm funding this campaign from my private pension. You see, I'm a top attorney in the United States of America. I belong to the New York Bar, a sustaining member of the New York Bar. We are less than 1%. I've submitted a letter to INEC. The letter is submitted to INEC, and I'm also a certified public accountant. I have a private pension, and out of my private pension, I've been funding this campaign. And this is a campaign to rescue the less privileged people from slavery, from hold of oppression. And we are going to succeed. And as far as my other candidate is concerned, you see, particularly the ruling party, it's about loyalty now. The loyalty of the ruling party candidate is to an individual. My own loyalty is to the people. Just look at it on the medical issue that I've seen. In this state, there are some hospitals that are built that you as a poor person, you cannot be admitted into that hospital. You can't be admitted, is that right? Ikeja right there, I understand there are some special units that if you are poor, you have some serious matter, you are not going to be admitted. And I understand they have some non-leaky for, heart or kidney, something. If you are a poor man, you just die. There are a lot of poor people who are dying just because of augmenting antibiotics. You know what they have provided for you as a poor man is agbo, you know, the traditional medicine that you have to go to Yalago or something. If you are sick, look. Yesterday I was going through the synagogue. I saw a woman. I was inside the traffic. The woman had 2 watermelon, she caught it, and about 3 or 4 pineapples and 5 oranges. That's what she said. I saw her, she was tired, sleeping, you know. So, and I look at her, oh my God. I said, what's she going to make? You know, there's so many of them. What's she going to make with that? Then I told the guy driving, let me do something crazy. Can I just buy the whole of this guy, woman, something, give her 20,000? Then, but there was traffic. If I do it, I'll be stranded. People will know, and then the area boy will come. For security reasons, I couldn't do it. That's, you see, there are lots of people like that. They are suffering, and the governors should pay attention to them. It's not happening here. You know, we have wicked people on board. I'm telling you, people are personalized the government, just me. That's it. That's what is going on. And people are dying. Nobody cares. Look at the schools. I went to the schools recently. I've been complaining since 2007. Children are still sitting on the floor. And if we get in there, this particularly action is what we're going to take. We are going to practice grassroots governance system. In every ward, we are going to bring the stakeholders together. We're going to appoint them as special assistants to the governor. Out of them, we appoint a leader in every ward. We call it Ward Executive Council. And then we're going to shoot money into that Ward Executive Council. From there, the money will be used by the people to fix a lot of things for themselves. And so it's going to be from bottom up instead of from, you know, top to bottom. Because there's a lot of money. We've read a lot of stories of money from, you know, for poverty alleviation, money for eradication of disease, money for one thing or the other, grants that are in this state, but it doesn't get to the people. It doesn't get to the people, and the books are not open. Look at the transportation situation. I mean, there's no solution than a subway system or what we call the train system. The train system, there's no better solution. But for more than 10 years, we don't know what's going on. The train system has been frustrated one way or the other. You know, things need to be done. We had the first frustration, the metro line, Gabajakone metro line frustrated. Now this other one, they started more than 10 years, we don't get anything. And look at the traffic gridlocks, you know, all over Lagos State. You see, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to look into it deeply, and I have a lot of professional connections in the United States. I've been there for more than 20 years. Like I said, I'm a member of Certified Public Accountant in American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, and I'm also a member of American Bar Association through the New York Bar. We have our own professional bodies, you know, we have network of professionals, you know, that we're going to use, get technology out of them. But key thing is we are going to invest heavily on practical education. Practical education. I know where they are. You know, practical education, we're going to bring it, you know, get our youth together, lead them to better life. We are not going to use our youth for violence, God forbid. We're going to lead them to better life. Every Lagosian, 99% today, believe, and even know, not just believe now, that their commonwealth is in the hand of an individual. And this individual is using the commonwealth to enslave them, to control them, and of course to discriminate against them. They have an option now. And then the option is Alliance for Democracy, Owolabi Salis. And number two, we're looking at our boys that are being enslaved, you know, particularly the boys from less privileged homes, you know, they're giving them arms, you know, set them in opposition. Only 2 months ago, you know, several killings were done in Shomolu just because of 250,000, you know, given to opposition, and they start killing themselves. And this is unfair on this boy, because boys will be boys, you know, and I think it's incumbent on government to lead them to better life. So we are going to do that. And of course, we're going to invest on culture. I told you of my experience that I've traveled quite widely, and I know that African culture is a very rich culture, and a lot of, you know, things need to be done to promote it and put it in a higher scale in the world. We are going to invest in African culture, and of course we're going to look at the civil service system, because in the civil service what we need to do there is to do an enterprise system. We're going to put an enterprise, we call it enterprising the system. There are so many ways to enterprise the system for efficiency. You just see efficiency in there. And on the judicial part, one key thing is this. Law, the practice of law. I happen to be a lawyer in Nigeria right here. I was called to the bar in 1992. And after my first degree and second degree in accounting, I wanted to be a chartered accountant too before going to read law. And I was called to the bar in 1992. But in 1997, I went to the United States as a member of NADECO abroad. We were the one that fought for Kudrat Abiola Corner in New York. We fought it. And I remember late Bapa Inahoro made a speech at the New York City Council. And Wole Soyinka made a speech. Professor Wole Soyinka made a speech. And Afsa made a speech. Walter Carrington made a speech. Mayor Dinkins made a speech. Eventually, the 44th Street beside Nigerian House was now Kudrat Abiola Corner. We did the job. Our leader is Jumoke Ogunpeyede, so we work together, put everything together. So now, as a lawyer here and a lawyer in the United States, because when I went to the United States, I have to become a lawyer again and a certified public accountant and a chartered banker in the U.S. Because I was a chartered banker here. I can see the difference in the practice of law. A lot of things that are wrong here, I think, is about the bar. And I'm going to energize the Nigerian bar. Trust me, I'm going to do it, based on my experience from New York. Because one of the most dynamic bar in the world is New York Bar. So I know of two laws that are militating against the development of legal practice in Nigeria right now. And we're going to look into it in a relationship with the federal government. And if they are not listening, we'll find a way of going around it so that the bar can expand. Because you can use bar to improve economy. The bar, legal, I know how to do it. And of course, there's another problem with Nigerian economy, which is insurance. Insurance. We are going to introduce culture of insurance into Lagos State. No matter how it is, it might be very small, like some kind of elastic pricing when it comes to insurance policy. Then number 3, we are going to tell our judges, to start taking decisions to advance socio-economic development of the people. We cannot be stagnant, when things are going wrong. We can't be stagnant. So if things are going wrong, you take decision to correct it. So many times we wait too long that things get so bad before we move on to the next stage. So we are going to look at all of this, and of course, I want the people of Lagos State not to sell their vote, because our limitation here in this contest is tons of money in the hand of the ruling party. Because from what we're hearing, if you see even my opposition in the ruling party, when it's going around, it goes out with about 300 vehicles. I say, 300 vehicles on the road. there was a time I was going to Badagry, was coming back, I saw 300 vehicles. What are you doing with all these 300 vehicles? People in Europe, they contest with just 2 cars. And sometimes I even know of a prime minister that took a taxi for swearing in. So these things have to be normalized, because these are the problems. You see, these are kind of intimidation they give to the poor people. And over time, the poor person begin to see themselves as inferior. Okay, like a child of a poor person now, put in a school where there are no toilets and people are passing faces all over. So the programming they're giving the child is to be inferior to the children of the rich. We should not be. A society that wants to develop should treat all these kids equal. So we're going to do that. And then just urging the people of Lagos State, do not sell your votes. Because people are selling votes, just say no to vote buying, because it's very key. Because when they buy your votes, they come back, they tax you, intimidate you, collect the money back, and they continue with their trade, which is not going to be this time around.